Everyone in the room was surrounding Peter's sleeping body on the hospital bed. Harry was there, along with Uncle Ben, Aunt May, and Norman Osborn. The room was silent when they heard that Peter was in a coma a few minutes earlier. Uncle Ben told Harry and Norman he is going to take Aunt May home to let Peter have some time to heal without any worry from them. Harry and Norman said their goodbyes to them and watched them leave. Norman tells Harry that they are correct. They should let Peter have the time to heal. Harry told his father to meet him at the car and he'll be out soon. Norman patted Harry on the shoulder and left Harry alone with Peter. Harry walked over to the bedside and held Peter's hand with extreme guilt. He thought to himself, I had the ability to stop this, but I used it like a fool, and with that happening, my best friend can't even wake up or make a single movement. Harry looked out the window and felt a cold and bitter feeling in his heart. Harry said to Peter that no matter what, the man that did this to him is going to pay dearly. Harry left the room with his fists clenched hard. When it was night time, Flint, who was in his new black Spider-Man outfit, was looking over the city of New York, thinking of the perfect place to get cash to help his daughter. He thought of a perfect place to go, which was the bank. He jumped high in the air and dove straight down into the street. He shot out a web and swung fast through the street, and leaped in the air, swinging his way to the bank. When Spider-Man landed on top of the bank, he went into the vents and made his way to the main lounge, where the bank vault was located. He could see a security guard checking the place before leaving. This was Spider-Man's time to shine when the guard left the bank. Spider-Man jumped down to the floor and grabbed the door of the bank vault, tearing it enough to get inside. He saw all the cash that was in there and murmured, "Thank you, Spider, for helping me do this." He grabbed a couple of bags of cash and swung out of there, knowing where he needed to go next. During this, Harry was sitting on a chair at the Osborn residence, watching the news of Flint Marko's escape. Harry listened closely to what Captain Stacy said about this shocking and unordinary experience. This made Harry walk out to the balcony, looking out into the city. He asked himself, how could he find Marko now? He wanted his revenge, but he didn't know where to look, where to go find him. The only thing Harry could think of was to get some answers. Harry went out of the Osborn residence and walked his way to Oscorp. He didn't have the idea of just going in with a gun. He needed something more, something that could give him answers for sure. Spider-Man landed onto a wall of a building that was downtown. He looked through the window, seeing that it was dark. He opened the window and put the money on the counter of the kitchen. He took off his mask and thought of the police. He knew that they were looking for him. He can't let his wife and daughter have any part of this whatsoever. With a tear in his eye, he put his mask back on and left. Knowing that his life had changed for the good and bad, he was at least thankful that he saved his daughter's life. The next morning, Norman was notified that someone broke into Oscorp and stole the suit, glider, much of the weapons, along with the serum that could make humans much more improved and better. Norman went there as fast as he could and looked at the scene. Norman asked in anger where the security guards were, but he was told that the guards were murdered. This scared Norman to the bone, knowing that whoever stole his stuff is dangerous and has to be stopped. He notified the police about this, and the police warned everyone about this to stay sharp, and whoever finds the man will receive a huge reward. Everyone at the school heard about this, especially MJ. MJ wanted to find Harry at the school to wonder if Peter was alright, but Harry wasn't there. When school ended, MJ went over to the Parker residence and talked with Uncle Ben and Aunt May. She asked what happened, and Uncle Ben explained everything they had heard from Harry, who witnessed the scene. Ben told MJ that Harry blames himself for this, believing that he could have prevented it somehow. After having the talk with the Parkers, MJ decided to visit Harry at the Osborne residence. Bernard allowed MJ in and called for Harry. Harry came out and saw MJ. He asked her what she wanted. MJ said that she heard about Peter and just wanted to say that she was sorry for what occurred. She then asked Harry why he wasn't at school. Harry said that he didn't have enough sleep, so he decided to sleep in. Harry asked Bernard where his father was, and Bernard explained everything about some of Oscorp's equipment being stolen. Harry looked in fear, and then he quickly hid it away, knowing that in his mind he had good reason to. Harry told MJ that she should probably go because he has to take care of schoolwork. MJ agreed, telling Harry that she'll see him tomorrow. Bernard walked MJ out, and Harry swiftly went to the mirror and pushed a button that was hidden. The mirror opened and Harry went in. He went further into the room and looked at all the things that he stole from Oscorp. He then went over to the serum and picked it up, saying to himself that this is the only way to bring Peter true justice. Harry opens the cap of the serum and he drank every single drop. All of the serum went into Harry's body and his bloodstream. After a few moments, Harry felt a sudden, sharp pain in his heart, making him fall to the floor, back against the wall. Harry felt his heart slowly beat until it wasn't beating at all. After another few moments, Harry got up and looked at the suit and mask with an evil grin. Back at Oscorp, Norman was having a meeting with the board members and the general of the military. He told them that if he had a little more time, he could make another serum without thinking twice. The general told Norman, while getting up, that they can't trust a company that has such weak security. The general told Norman that his security was slaughtered along with a lot of his new tech stolen. The board members all agreed that Norman should be stood down from being head of Oscorp. Norman thought this to be madness because he started the company and put in every single penny for all the goodness. But everyone in the room was not having it. The general left, saying that they will go for something more organized and secure. One of the board members told Norman that he is to get his things from his office until the end of the day because he is fired. Norman slammed his fist on the table, saying that they can't fire him because he is the reason Oscorp started in the first place. Norman left with the board kicking him out. This made him even more furious. If no one will help him in finding the one responsible, then he will just have to help himself. Flint is swinging through the city, still wearing the suit and mask. He was thinking of how he is supposed to make a living now. Where should he live? How is he supposed to get money? And he then suddenly heard a boom from a far-off distance. He went over to the noise as soon as possible, and he saw the horror. He saw the police department blown to bits, with many police officers dead. He saw a man wearing a green armor suit with a mask that had the look of a goblin flying in the air on a glider. Spider-Man said as he landed from a distance that this isn't gonna go very well.